Well, the joke is on everybody else because this family is actually broke. Before I get into my theory, I want to say that everything I'm going to say is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know them, they don't know me, and everything that I am saying is solely based off of my own thoughts and opinions from what I've seen, watched, and read. If you do not like theory videos on celebrities, then please continue to scroll. This will not be for you. Also, if you're sick of hearing about this family, this video is not for you, so keep scrolling. Everybody else that's decided to stay, hi. I definitely do not feel that they are as rich and powerful as they make it out to seem. I think that everything is financed. I know that Kris knows how to play her cards right. And I know that her and Kim were seeking the level of fame that they all have now. But I don't think there's much power behind the fame. I don't think that there's much funding behind the fame. I think that they are financed, as in they are given money to do what they do, to keep themselves infamous and to keep controversies going, to keep themselves out there. And I think that is why they do the things that they do, is because they are going to get more money if they keep pushing it a little bit further and further. Why do I feel this? Let me get into it. The first clue to me was actually when they decided to leave E and have the Keeping Up show ended. Then they decided to do just the Kardashian show, which is on Hulu. Now, in my thoughts and opinions, if they're so powerful and they have all this money, you know, there's a billionaire in their family, maybe even 2 billionaires in their family. Why did they decide to go with another network? And hear me out. Now, I am not a fan of Oprah Winfrey. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on her, but I'm going to put those aside and I'm just going to say this much. She started her own network, okay? So not only is she able to put out shows of her own or specials of her own as she chooses, but she can also give other people a platform to have a show. And then she also will get profit off of that. Because, you know, if you're tuning into that show and she owns a network, she's profiting from you viewing said show. So if Kris is such a wonderful businesswoman and she is just so smart and she knows how to play the game, why wouldn't she have purchased her own network and then had her own show or their show on said network? But then they also could have other shows that they could also profit off of from said network. Because you know that there's a lot of people out there that would jump at the opportunity to be on a Kardashian-Jenner program. You know what I mean? Or should I say channel or streaming service, whatever you want to call it these days. I'm old. I'm going to still call it a channel as if we were looking at the fucking TV guide and trying to see what's on for the day. And then there's the whole Kardashian closet where they take the stuff that they've used, worn, been given, etc., and they put it on this website and you can buy it. You can buy something that was actually in their possession. And this is where the whole stop worshiping false idols comes into play for me, because I understand really liking a celebrity or a public figure. I get that. But at what point do we draw a line and say, no, I don't need to buy something that they once owned, wore, whatever the case is? At what point do we sit there and think, like, what am I doing here? And why? Why am I spending money on something that they had just because they had it? Especially in this economy. So recently there was a lot of people talking about this dirty ass Hermes bag that was put on the Kardashian closet for some figures, honey. There's lots of zeros after that. And mind you, it was dirty and nasty looking as fuck. I get that maybe you want an Hermes bag because it's Hermes. Like, I got an Hermes bag. And of course it's like probably way cheaper than buying a brand new one. I get it. But why would anybody want to degrade themselves by spending that amount of money? I think it was like $17,000 or something like that. Don't quote me on the exact price. I just know it was ridiculous. But like, how desperate do they think people are to want to buy that? And also, who would be desperate enough to buy that, knowing the condition it's in, the price that it is, all because what, Kim owned it? Not only that, but Chloe was putting her kids' used clothing on there. And I get it. Like, look, I know that kids grow through clothes quickly, and some of them don't even get use out of them. I have 3 kids of my own, and I know the drill. But if I'm going to go resell my kids' clothes, I'm not going to sell it for more than what it was at full fucking price. There's just like too much wear and tear sometimes on clothing for you to price it up, to mark it up like that. And so then I wonder, why are they using this Kardashian closet and putting things so high price? Like, what y'all need that money for? Is it because y'all broke? Not only that, but then you got Kylie over here that don't even know what the hell she's focused on. She's got a perfume out now. She's trying to get her cosmetics brand popping and popular again, which I doubt that's going to happen. I see that stuff at like TJ Maxx and at the dollar store. But she's trying to revive it, honey. Then she has her new brand, Kai, which is a clothing brand, which seems to not have any rhyme or reason. Like, there's no... With Kim Skims, it's pretty across the board, like, with her collections. But with Kylie, her collections with Kai have seemed all over the place. Like, we went for the leather look, which supposedly was taken by Betsy Johnson, not the super famous fashion designer Betsy Johnson, but a smaller designer. Her name is also Betsy Johnson. And then you have her, oh my gosh, what is that newest one? Is it Johansson or It's another clothing brand, but they have like the rolled sleeves for the dresses. And it's a very, I know that most people will look at it and be like, okay, the design is just a rolled up sleeve. Anybody could do that, blah, blah, blah. But if you were to look at this other designer's clothing and then look at the Kai brand, you'll definitely see there's way too many similarities for her to not have taken the idea. And also, it's very interesting that every time that a designer has said that she has stolen one of their ideas, it is because her team has reached out to said people for said items. And then months later, she has a release, and it's ironically the same sort of design that she took from the other person. I know I just said that really wordy, and I'm sorry. It's the Midwestern in me. I can't help it. But anyway, not to mention her other, like her skincare brand, her swimwear line. That, like, it's all just a mess. And I love Kourtney, but vitamins from a celebrity? No. And I think it's great, that I think it's like Target and Ulta both carry her Lemmy gummies. That's wonderful. Whoever wants to use them, you go for it. But it's a no from me. Like, I just don't feel right putting something in my body that's endorsed by a celebrity. And I know that probably sounds really shitty of me to say, but it's true. The next point in my theory that they're actually broke is that Kendall and Kylie are allegedly yacht girls. There have been lots of pictures of them in that sort of atmosphere of being on the yachts in certain areas of the world where it's known that that is yachting girls, and they're getting paid money by these men to be on their yacht and be their arm candy. Do with that information what you will. Look into it if you'd like, but I'm just saying. And then the next thing is that they don't even actually pay their employees correctly. They have had so many people come out and say that they were not paid for the work that they did. They worked like 80 hours a week and didn't get shit. But I feel like if you have all this money and you guys are millionaires and billionaires, why can't you pay your employees? I feel like nobody wants to work these days. Go to fucking work. But yet you have people that work for you and you don't want to pay them their fair wages for what they've done. Although I have lots more points to this theory, I'm running out of time. I need to cut this video. But I definitely feel that it's all a facade. Their lies are just smoke and mirrors, and none of it to me is believable. But drop a comment. Let me know what you think of my theory.